Yeah, especially when you look at the results of other people and you see what they've achieved. And it's challenging because you're always trying to compare yourself. It's natural to compare yourself to people that have achieved more than you have. And what people don't really understand is that circumstances are different for everybody. Some people have significantly more advantages than other people when they're just starting out. But what you just said earlier really encapsulates what it's like. Most people start off with a competency, but they're generally only good at what it is they're trying to sell or perform as a service. Like, you think about like an auto repair technician who starts his own shop. Well, he's good at working on cars, but he doesn't know anything about managing people or payroll or paying taxes or paying rent and insurance and just all the little boxes that you got to check. And that's just one of a million examples. And you and I both know a lot of entrepreneurs who started off just being good at like one thing. Another person in our network is Bob Morse. He started off selling just like trinkets and wares at craft shows and bazaars and what have you. And he ended up building that into a multi-million-dollar operation. That's just another example of how he started off good at one thing, but over 20 years built something pretty huge.
You said something a little bit back that was really interesting because you said, we look at the results of other people. And it's normal to compare. Does that mean it's healthy?
I think to a certain extent it is, because you have to have role models. You have to have an example of what you're trying to accomplish. Somebody who's done something at least shows you what's possible, and I think that's a really positive thing. It's when you let it erode at your self-worth. Find somebody that's doing 10 times the revenue you are. You might think that you suck, but are they really succeeding if they're not turning any profit or if they're miserable?
For me, comparison has never been a healthy thing because, so I remember I had an opportunity early on in my career to meet, when I was in network marketing, to meet literally one of the legends in network marketing. This guy was a triple diamond in Amway by the time he was in his mid-20s, and he was making $1 million a month and had like 3 private jets and all this stuff and went all around the world. And I watched him speak at one of the first events when I was entertaining a company, whether I was going to join it or not. And oh my gosh, like that guy with a microphone in his hand was unbelievable. Like he was such a great storyteller, and and I was very impressed until I was backstage and he came off the stage and he's like, "Did you see the way I had them crying?" Like, yeah, when I totally had them right in the palm of my hands. And immediately from that moment, my respect level just tanked for that person. Because outwardly, he looked like a wildly successful individual that I wanted to emulate, until I recognized that it was likely built on a lot of manipulation and there wasn't a lot of realness behind it. Fast forward about 18 to 20 years past that time, he just passed away about a year ago, alone and sad. So by looking at someone's results and comparing them to my own and holding myself up to those standards, it's like a single sliver of the real picture. You don't really know what they had to go through to get there. You don't know if they were actually the one that got there. When you interview someone and they're like, "I did this in school and this in school and this in school," and you're like, "Yeah, you were in a group that did that, but tell me what element." "Well, I talked with them." Like they really didn't contribute anything, but they're trying to sell themselves, and it's superficial. So I don't know. Comparison. I can't spend someone else's money. I can't drive someone else's car unless they loan it to me. So I don't give a fuck what their results are.